What if everything you've ever wanted to know about life, who you are, why you're here, and where you're really going, was already written down long ago, hidden in a book the world forgot? What if the deepest truths about your soul, the universe, and the divine were never truly lost, but simply waiting for you to remember? There is such a book. It exists, and it has been quietly calling out to those who are ready to listen. Its name is the Corpus Hermeticum. This isn't just some old book gathering dust. It's a sacred collection of writings that hold the answers to the greatest questions humanity has ever asked. These texts have been read in secret by alchemists, philosophers, and spiritual seekers for centuries, not because of superstition, but because they felt something ancient and true breathing through the words. These writings are said to come from a being called Hermes Trismegistus, a mysterious figure believed to be half human, half divine. Some saw him as a god of wisdom. Others believed he was a prophet. But no matter the label, his words changed lives, shaped the course of Western thought, and touched the hearts of those who were searching for more than just facts. They were searching for meaning, for connection, for the hidden truth behind it all. The Corpus Hermeticum speaks a language beyond time. It speaks to the part of you that's always known there was more than the world you see, more than the story you were told, more than the name you were given. When you read these writings, it doesn't feel like learning something new. It feels like remembering something sacred that you somehow forgot. Because the message isn't coming from outside you. It's waking up something already inside you, something eternal. These texts didn't just appear out of nowhere. They were born in a time of great change, around the 2nd or 3rd century after Christ, when Egypt was still echoing with the wisdom of the ancient pharaohs, but now ruled by the Roman Empire. In the great city of Alexandria, where the world's knowledge was gathered in the largest library ever built, people of many faiths and cultures came together. Greeks, Egyptians, Jews, Romans, Persians, all searching, all asking, all contributing to a river of wisdom that crossed boundaries. It was there, in that fertile crossroads of thought, that the Hermetic teachings took form, not as commandments or rigid beliefs, but as deep spiritual conversations between the soul and the divine. The voice of Hermes Trismegistus in these writings doesn't preach. It reveals. It invites. It opens a door and lets you walk through it at your own pace. He speaks of a universe that is alive, intelligent, and whole. He says the divine is not far away, but woven into everything, even you. One of the central truths in the Hermetic texts is this: everything is one. There is no real separation between you and the divine, between matter and spirit, between the seen and the unseen. What looks like division is only an illusion created by limited perception. And once you begin to see through it, the entire world starts to feel different, deeper, fuller, more sacred. In the very first writing of the Corpus Hermeticum, called Pomandres, Hermes has a vision. A being of light appears and shows him the truth of existence. The being says, all is one, and the one is in all. This means that everything, every star, every tree, every breath, every soul, is part of the same great living presence. The universe is not cold or empty. It is conscious. It is love. And you are not just in it. You are part of it. Always have been. Hermes teaches that human beings are divine by nature. We are not just bodies made of flesh and bone. We are living reflections of the sacred. He writes, "You are light and life, like God, if you so will it. For man is a mortal God, and God is an immortal man." That may sound poetic, but what he's saying is deeply real. The divine lives within you. You are not separate. You've just forgotten. The world has made you forget. But deep down, that light is still burning. And the goal isn't to escape the world, or reject your body, or pretend to be above life. Hermes doesn't ask you to deny what's human. He invites you to see what's divine within it. He says that matter and spirit are not enemies. They're made of the same source. Everything is sacred. The earth, the sky, your joys, your struggles, your breath, your silence. There is nothing ordinary in a world made entirely of the divine. Hermes also teaches about the power of the mind. He says the universe itself is mental, that everything that exists is born from thought. This is the Hermetic principle of mentalism. All is mind. What this means is that your thoughts are not small. They are creative. They shape your experience. They shape your world. If you believe in fear, you will see a fearful world. If you believe in love, you will find love reflected everywhere. This is why ancient Hermetic seekers practice meditation, visualization, and quiet contemplation, not to escape life, but to learn how to live it with intention, clarity, and inner power. This is where another ancient phrase comes in, one you might have heard before: as above, so below. It's not just a nice saying. It's a spiritual key. It means that what happens in the heavens reflects what happens on earth, and what happens inside you mirrors what happens outside you. Your inner world and your outer world are deeply connected. If you want to change your life, you begin not by changing the world, but by transforming your own consciousness. The Hermetic path is a journey, but it doesn't begin with religion or belief. It begins with self-knowledge. Hermes says that the one who truly knows themselves becomes like God, not because they become proud, but because they awaken to the truth they've always carried inside. And when you know yourself, truly, deeply, you start to live differently. You start to see through the lies the world told you. You start to remember who you really are. But the journey doesn't end there. Self-knowledge is the beginning. After that comes purification, not by rules, but by inner clarity. You begin to rise above your lower desires, your fears, your cravings, your anger, your distractions, not because you're forced to, but because they no longer feel true. They no longer serve the light within you. As you remember more of your real nature, the noise of the world fades, and your inner voice becomes louder. The voice of truth, the voice of peace, the voice of the One. Hermes describes this whole process as a kind of spiritual ascent, not a physical climb, but an awakening of consciousness. You start out lost in the material world, identified with your name, your body, your emotions. But as your awareness grows, you begin to rise, not away from life, but deeper into its truth. You begin to see the sacred in everything. You begin to live from your center. You begin to walk in the world as a soul who remembers. And what is the end of the journey? It's not somewhere far away. It's right here. It's the realization that you were never separate to begin with, that the divine was always in you, that the universe was never something outside you. It was always something you carried in your own heart. Enlightenment, Hermes says, is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been. The Corpus Hermeticum is not just a book you read. It's a message your soul recognizes. It's not about following rules or believing doctrines. It's about remembering what is already true inside you. It's about waking up, and once you hear its voice, once you feel that ancient whisper stirring something deep inside, it's hard to go back to sleep, because once you know, even a little, that everything is one, once you feel that the universe lives within you, once you remember that your mind is creative, your soul is divine, and your life is sacred, everything changes. The questions don't disappear. But now the answers are no longer far away. They're living inside you, waiting to be lived. And the book you thought was lost? It's not just in a library or a monastery. It's in your hands now, and it's been waiting for you. This message isn't telling you to reject the physical world or to run away from your human experiences. It's not asking you to pretend that your body, your emotions, or your daily life don't matter. It's not saying that pain, joy, desire, or struggle should be ignored. Instead, it's teaching you how to live in this world without being chained to it. It's showing you how to walk through your life without letting it blind you or trap you. It's about learning how to live in the physical world with spiritual eyes. You're not here to escape Earth. You're here to understand it, to rise above its illusions, and to see through its distractions. The goal is not to hate life, but to wake up inside it. The truth is, this life can be beautiful, but only when you stop being a prisoner to everything temporary and start seeing what is eternal. To do this, your mind must become calm. It has to be quiet like a still lake that clearly reflects everything without distortion. When a lake is disturbed, its surface ripples and shakes, and you can't see your reflection clearly. But when the water is peaceful, it mirrors the sky. Hermes taught that your mind should be like that peaceful water, calm enough to reflect the truth exactly as it is, without fear, desire, or confusion changing it. When the mind is full of noise, it cannot hear truth. When the mind is angry, it cannot see clearly. When the mind is desperate, it grabs onto illusions. But when the mind is still, truth begins to rise gently, like the morning sun over a silent lake. Hermes explained that to reach this calm state, you have to live with wisdom. You must choose a life of virtue, not because someone tells you to, but because your soul starts craving truth more than comfort. He spoke of the importance of having pure thoughts, of being honest in your heart, of letting go of the lies the world tells you. The world will tell you that money will save you, that fame will make you matter, that beauty will make you worthy, that winning will make you loved, but none of it lasts. Hermes teaches that real freedom begins when you let go of these illusions and remember what you really are. You are not your name, your job, your status, or your image. You are a divine soul, and the sooner you remember that, the more peaceful your life becomes. He also said that true wisdom is not about how much you know with your mind. It's about how you live with your spirit. The truly wise person is not the one who wins every argument or recites ancient texts. The truly wise one is the person who walks with humility, who chooses love over ego, who listens more than they speak, who lets go instead of clinging. Wisdom is not something you wear like a crown. It's something you carry inside quietly, like a light. One of the deepest teachings Hermes gave is the idea of spiritual rebirth. This kind of rebirth is not about starting over in a new body or being physically born again. It's something that happens inside. It's the moment when your soul breaks through the walls of illusion and sees clearly for the first time. It's the moment when you stop being who the world told you to be and you start being who you truly are. Enlightenment, according to Hermes, isn't just about learning. It's about becoming something new. It's a transformation of the soul. The seeker must let go of everything false, every story, every fear, every lie, and be reborn into a new way of seeing. This kind of death is not scary. It's beautiful, because the only thing that dies is what was never real. Hermes described this awakening as an explosion of light inside the mind. One moment, everything is confusion. The next, there is only light. It's not something you can force or fake. It's something that happens when you're truly ready. He said, "Oh child, when you finally understand that you are light and that you are life itself, that is when your path to eternity begins. You don't have to become something else. You just have to remember what you already are. The light is not outside of you. It is you. And when you know that fully, everything changes." This kind of awakening is not far away. It's not just for monks or mystics or people who live in silence on mountaintops. Hermes said anyone can walk this path. Anyone with a sincere heart and a longing for truth can reach it. But it does come with a price. You have to surrender. You have to stop trying to control everything. You have to dissolve your ego. You have to stop living only for the material world and open your heart to something greater. This is not easy. Many people begin the journey, but never finish it. Some people believe they've already awakened when really they are still lost in pride. They might speak about love and light, but deep down they still crave power and attention. Hermes warned that true enlightenment never brings arrogance. It brings humility. The enlightened soul doesn't want to be seen as special. It wants to live in peace and harmony with everything. It wants to serve love, not self. The path of awakening can't be learned through formulas or strict rules. There isn't a list of steps to follow. Each person must walk their own road. Each seeker must listen to their own soul. Hermes gave universal principles, but he didn't demand obedience. He invited exploration. He encouraged self-knowledge, letting go of what weighs you down, thinking deeply, and seeking to become one with all things. These are not instructions. They are invitations. They are doorways. You must choose to walk through them. These teachings have survived for thousands of years because they speak to something timeless in the human soul. In the 15th century, a man named Marsilio Ficino translated the ancient Hermetic texts, and the world began to rediscover their power. This period, known as the Renaissance, was a time of awakening and curiosity. People began searching for hidden truths again. Great thinkers of the time were inspired by Hermes' teachings. Giordano Bruno believed that the universe was endless, full of life and meaning. He based this on Hermetic wisdom, but his vision was too big for his time, and the church burned him at the stake. Still, his ideas lived on. spreading quietly through time. Even Isaac Newton, the man who discovered the laws of gravity, was a student of Hermetic teachings. Most people don't know that he also studied alchemy. He didn't see science and spirit as enemies. He saw them as two ways of reaching the same truth. He believed the universe was built on invisible laws that could be felt as much as understood. For Newton, the mystery of life was not just in numbers. It was also in the soul. Alchemy, which many believe is just about turning metal into gold, has its roots in Hermeticism. But the greatest alchemists weren't trying to change metals. They were trying to change themselves. Their real goal was spiritual transformation. They believed that by understanding the patterns of nature, they could understand the patterns of the soul. As above, so below, they said. What is true in the stars is true in the heart. By learning the secrets of the physical world, they hoped to unlock the secrets of the spiritual one. In the 19th century, Hermeticism returned again. Secret groups and spiritual orders began practicing its teachings. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, for example, built their rituals on Hermes' wisdom. They believed these ancient truths still had the power to heal and awaken. They influenced many other spiritual teachers who shaped the world of modern magic and inner work. But Hermetic wisdom didn't stay in small circles. It spread into modern psychology too. Carl Jung, one of the most important thinkers of the human mind, used Hermetic ideas in his work. He believed that all people share deep patterns and symbols in the unconscious mind. He called this the collective unconscious. He saw the process of becoming whole, not perfect, but whole, as a kind of spiritual alchemy. Just like the ancient alchemists tried to turn base metal into gold, Jung said we can turn our shadows into wisdom and our wounds into light. Today, Hermetic ideas still touch many areas of life. The belief that thoughts shape reality is echoed in quantum physics. The idea that inner and outer worlds reflect each other can be seen in science and spirituality. The Hermetic phrase, as within, so without, reminds us that the state of the world mirrors the state of our hearts. You can even find these ideas in modern movies. Films like The Matrix explore the idea that reality is an illusion, a concept straight from Hermetic teachings. Books like The Alchemist show the journey of transformation, the same journey Hermes spoke of. Even the law of attraction, the belief that you create your world through your thoughts, comes from Hermetic principles like the all is mind. But the true gift of these teachings is not found in books, or science, or even history. The real treasure is in how they transform you. Hermes doesn't give you strict beliefs. He doesn't say, believe this and you'll be saved. He says, look inside, discover. Remember, he gives you tools, not answers. He offers questions, not commands. He invites you to walk your own path with honesty, humility, and love. These teachings are still alive, not because they are old, but because they are true. They live in you when you choose peace over pride, love over fear, truth over illusion. They live in every moment you pause to breathe, reflect, and listen to the voice of your soul. They are waiting for you every time you look up at the stars and wonder who you are. If this message touched something deep inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Let others feel it too. Let this light move from soul to soul. Your voice matters. Your journey matters. Let's keep walking this path together, discovering more truth, more beauty, and more light as we go.